Hi everybody, how is it going today? So we're going to do an analysis on Litecoin because a lot of interesting things are happening at the moment. We're getting some quite extended fifth waves right now. And this is my TA that I did on November 12 here, where my first target was roughly up here. Not this one there, but this one there, which was around $1.22 there, right? So it's pretty high target. This one, I targeted right by the all-time high, if you guys notice, from my point one, and I suggested an entry price between $57.63 right here. And then I figured that because we're bouncing off of the 55 EMA, that completes our wave 2 count, right? And because of that, we finally start our third massive wave. And right now where we are in the cycle is just finishing up this one right here. I projected 4 to 6 months total for all of it with a very high success rate, and you have a chance to literally double your money. So anybody who got into this setup right here between 57 and 63, you guys must be extremely happy. So congratulations everybody that have taken that play. So just to catch everybody up, this is the first official grand primary cycle. We'll call that, or grand cycle, whatever you want to call it. No need for fancy names. So that's wave 1 right there. This right here is wave 2 that just completed, and I'll actually label it just to make sure it's very clear. Like that. Alrighty. So that looks pretty good to me. Now, if we zoom out, if you guys remember where I made this line right here, see, check this out, right? This one right there, it's actually exactly hitting my target. I'll just pull it up one more time here. Give me 1 second. If you guys see this green line right there, right? It's a Fibonacci level right there. And surely enough, 2 weeks later, pretty dead on technical analysis, right? Come on, you guys are pretty impressed, admit it. So now we're going to do an Elliott Wave count. This is obviously incredibly bullish at the moment, but a correction is absolutely overdue, and we can't really get too much higher than it, and we're going to break it down, okay? I apologize if my humor is not all here right now. It's a little bit late, and I've been up for too long today. Okay, so we have all of our counts, and we're going to ignore all of this. We're not going to get back into it. So why did it hit that specific point, right? That's probably what a lot of you guys are wondering right now. How did we know it was going to hit roughly that point? Well, for the first target, what we usually do is we target this right here, okay? The first target that we take Fibonacci extension first of all. I'm going to draw it from the beginning here. Fibonacci extension from this point where it began to the top point where it ended to the lowest possible point right around here, okay? Lowest possible point. I'll actually get my line back in here, the 618 level as well. And what I always do, actually I can probably go, yeah sure, here's fine. So right now we just touched the 61.8 level, and we're going to use this as our first target, right? Right there. And that's what happened when you guys saw my analysis over there. And the second point we're going to use as target is right around here. And the third point that we're going to use is right around here as target 3 for the end of the fifth wave. So when this is done right here, this will actually be our third wave of Elliott Wave, okay? Now it might not be exactly like that. We'll just assume the same type of slope, right? We'll assume the same type of slope, just try to see some similarities here. Nope, not really close in terms of angle. The third one's always going to be a lot steeper in terms of going up because it's one of the strongest waves. So I'm just going to try to angle it a little bit better just to make sure it's lining up. So this right here will make the third wave, assuming that it'll reach at least a 1-to-1 extension. Now the big question is, what is going on here now, right? Let's go over every single indicator. So if we look at the MACD, first of all, we see it very bullish, right? It actually exponentially gained. But if we look at the MACD right here, what we can see is that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5 waves in there, right? On the histogram rather. And if we look very, very close as well, we can also do a 5-wave count on the actual MACD itself on the moving averages. So that confirms my 5-wave count. So if we actually drew it again on the RSI as well, we can kind of get an idea. 1, 2, around here is 3. Right here is like around 4 pretty much. let's say this one's 4 and this one's 5, right? And it also confirms it right here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to show you again. So that's how we can do the Elliott Wave count in a more advanced way for both the histogram, the MACD, and the RSI, or all three of them. So now that we're up just about to reach this target, I'm not sure if we're going to actually break it or if we're going to fall short. If we just look on the daily for now, right, it still has ways to go. It's only been about 4 hours in the daily, but it's not breaking a higher high than it already. On the 4-hour one, it's actually diverging already. It's not gonna, looks like it's not gonna get a higher high than it, right? This one, the histogram itself, yes, it's ticking up a little bit, but it doesn't really look like it's making that much progress as well. So if I draw my Elliott Wave here, just as an example, on this guy here on the MACD 4-hour chart, we count 1, 2, 3, there you go, 4, and also 5 right here, right? So we see 5 right there as well. And we're also getting some fairly bullish divergence, but it's starting to slowly turn into bearish. This one can't really pick up a lot, right? This right here, from down here to up there, that's just happened in the past few hours over here because we decided to make a really big extension. So let's break it down a little bit further. So we see that the first wave started right around here, we'll say, okay? Right around here, second wave, third wave, we'll say this is the fourth wave, and this is the fifth and final wave going on in there right now. Now let's zoom out to a further one. Let's make sure it lines up a little bit. So this looks very good to me. Now we're going to see what kind of extensions these ones made, all right? So if I look at this one right here, using Fibonacci tool, this one probably made a 1618, I'm guessing. Close. See, but notice how extended it is right now from the very first one. We're about to hit, well actually we hit it already. This is the 261.8 level, Fibonacci level. So that's actually a really good extension in general. Sometimes it can be really extended and hit even further, but it seems like we're hitting quite a plateau right now and it can't really get any higher. The volume is still extremely high right now, but I think it's actually going to die down very, very soon. So what we want to do is break it down even further, all right? So let's do some more wave counting. So if I actually draw my Elliott waves on a different time frame, like the 4-hour chart, I can see that that's 1. So right around here would actually be 2-ish at the peak, bottom of that one there. This one would probably be around 3, right here, the peak of that. I'd say 4 just kind of dropped right here. So right around here maybe, 4, and up here would be 5. So I'm going to actually adjust my Elliott wave count here just to line it up with that as well. So my 4 will be right around here. My 3 will be right around here, which now makes a lot more sense to me. This would be pretty much a double top here, where we go somewhere 1 around here, then 2, it drops really steep, and this is 4, right? Almost to the territory of wave 1, because wave 1 did not retrace a lot, or sorry, wave 2 did not retrace a lot, wave 4 actually retraced a lot, and the fifth one actually made a double top there, because this wave was so strong that it couldn't quite beat it, and then it made a simple correction there. And then now we are on the very, very last stretch, and if we actually draw it like that, it makes a lot of sense, and I'll explain why as well. So I will do my Elliott wave count here, where wave 3 pretty much ended. First of all, I want to explain to you guys why this one did not retrace a lot, okay? If wave 1 retraces a lot, which it did, it retraced all the way to like the 786 level, right? To the 786 level right here. And because it retraced a lot, we can automatically assume that wave 2 will not retrace a lot. And surely enough, we see it only hitting the 382 level, which is fantastic. So this can also confirm for us that this is indeed the actual wave counts that's going on. Now we want to make sure that we're counting this wave correctly here. If that's a third wave, we want to get some extensions, say from this third wave, just to see how far it's going, right? So right now what we can see is it's not really doing it did a 1-to-1 and it did a little bit higher than that. So this one right here, it's actually getting a lot of strength. Let's just measure it. So if wave 3 moved up, say that much right there, wave 5 is actually longer, which is great because it follows the rules that wave 3 is often the longest but never the shortest, And a lot of the times in a very bullish market, the actual fifth wave of any coin, it can be much longer than the third wave. As long as the third wave is not the shortest, then we're okay. Now what we want to do is count the Elliott Wave on a daily or 4-hour chart just to make sure we have a 5 count to make sure it's accurate. Last thing we want to do is count the waves wrong. So I will count this as basically 1. Very strong third wave here. Super strong. It went all the way from 72 to up there. And there we go. So what we see now is 5 official counts there. So I do believe that this is the top for now. We could get a very extended fifth wave, right? If we get an extended fifth wave, it'll look something like this. So if we do get an extended fifth wave, we might even get a 1618 extension of the wave 3 there. Maybe even higher. So if this corrects right here, you know, we might just get a few more small waves. Just let's say it corrects a little bit, just another extension like that up there. So maybe to even $96, but I don't think that that's likely, guys. So I'm going to assume that that's actually the absolute highest that it is for now, okay? I just can't see it getting any higher. We have some really, really good extensions. Wave 3 went way too far, too fast, so much volume there. So because it exhausted so much strength, right, in that one, look at this one, for example, okay? Wave 1 was very shallow, didn't retrace a lot. Wave 3, so much strength, right? So much strength, and then the wave 5 didn't really have that much strength or price action because wave 3 kind of accounted for all of that. So we're actually down ticking quite a bit already. So I really do believe that this is the top. I don't think that we're going to beat the all-time high yet. The all-time high is like, what is it? All-time high is 90. Oh crap, I think we did beat the all-time high already. No, 93,716. I don't think we're going to beat the all-time high, guys. So just too much strength has been wasted already. I think we're going to beat it on the next one, like on the next Elliott Wave count. You know what I mean? On this one right here. We're going to beat it on the third one. This is the one we want to catch, guys. So let's assume that this is the top for now, okay? Because we got to like 92, like the high 92s already. Let's zoom into a closer time frame. This is like a hanging man already. We got to 92.45. We just could not get to a higher high, right? And I do count 5 in there already. So 1, 2. Hold on, just double checking the count here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We might get one more small one up, but that's going to be kind of it. So let's just assume that this is the top for now, guys. And we're going to see what are some possible correction targets, okay? That's very important. So when we take Elliott Wave, I'm just going to go very far back here. For example, on here, okay? This is the original motive zigzag wave up. When we do a count on the Fibonacci first wave retracement, what we do is we take it from the actual all of wave 1, right? Which makes sense. We notice this one retraced to about 618, to 0.5-ish. So we will assume that this next wave 4 correction will not be as much. And surely enough, right, we barely squeezed through the 382 level. So that fits it very well. Now, what a lot of newer traders do by accident or because they're rookies is they will take the wave 5 retracement like that. And they'll be like, whoa, it retraced all the way lower than wave 4. But that's not how you do it, guys. The way you actually do it after you finish all the 5 waves is you take the net retracement of all of waves 1 to 5. And what we see is it bounced exactly off of the 618 level, right? So which is pretty awesome. Really, really awesome. So we're just going to assume a few things, such as a very bullish market, okay? Let's assume that that is indeed the top, and we'll take it to be conservative right from the edge of the breakout where wave 1 began. So if I take my Fibonacci level, I just want to make sure it's very accurate, okay? I'm going to take out some of these lines here. Just want to make sure it's super accurate. Right around there. We are going to assume a very bullish market still, because it is, right? It's a very bullish market, I'd say, right at the 55 EMA. So guys, to remain bullish, incredibly bullish, I'm actually going to expect a correction anywhere from, we'll be realistic here, okay? probably between the 236 and the 382 level. I'm definitely expecting it to go through, just as an example, right? Wave 1 here, this is the 55 EMA. Let's say I change this one to a 100 EMA, right? 100 EMA even, it squeezed through it, right? For the wave 2 retracement here. For wave 3, right, it still came through by a little bit, the 55 EMA, right? And of course, for the wave 5, the net retracement, it came back all the way. So we're also going to assume, guys, that it's going to come through it a little bit as well, right? So let's just say I did some extensions with this brush. You know, just something like that, okay? Something like that. I will assume that it's probably going to come through it a little bit. And don't mind the dates. I'm not really good at dates. But if we look at this wave 1 right here, this one did the majority of the retracing, right? This one did the majority of the retracing at the 618 level. It actually just bounced off of it. So this one does not retrace much. This wave 3 right there is correction. So wave 4 there, right? This one only retraced to pretty much a 382 level, barely. 382 just squeezed through it, but bounced off of 0.5 for sure. So we assume that wave 1, because it did the majority of the retracement in the previous wave, and the wave 4 here did not retrace as much, we'll just assume that it's going to follow the exact same behavior actually. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So we'll assume that this one could actually retrace all the way down to 618 level. To remain very bullish, this is the one right here. This is the one right here that you want to buy in, okay? If you guys pause it, you can see the numbers as well. $78.21, 27 cents. If it fell to the 618, even better, we'll all get it cheaper. But you guys have to take into account right now that we are at the absolute highest point right now that we can be. We now have counted 5 perfect Elliott waves, right? This is as perfect as it gets, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 like that, right? And we counted 5 every single where else, right? We counted it everywhere. This one barely did any retracing. So wave 4 did a lot of the retracing. It fits into the territory, or it barely touches the wave 1 territory, which is perfect. And then wave 5 did a double top there. And we counted everywhere, guys. We also count 5 Elliott waves right here from where it began, say. Sure, we can count it. Actually, we can be more realistic from a small one right there. We got there, 4, and then we got a 5, right? And every single one did some sort of A, B, C correction. A, B, C. This one here did some sort of, A, B, C correction as well. So now what we're going to be looking for is some sort of A, B, C correction as well. Some sort of, A, B, C correction. It could be, something like that. Usually, just to give you guys a lesson quickly, A, B, C corrections can come like this, right? And they can come in many, I'll extend that a little bit actually. And there are many different kinds, okay? So first of all, this is a normal zigzag, we can call it a zigzag correction, okay? That does a 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension ratio, and it just has a typical target does 1-to-1 right there. That's just called a normal zigzag correction, where this one will also have 5 coming down. It's called a 5-3-5, okay? 5-3-5 correction, just like that for the Elliott Wave traders. Don't mind the slope. I know it's supposed to be slope better. So 5-3-5, right? That can happen as well. But then there's also these kinds as well. That's basically a 3-3-5, right? You can get like a 3-3-5 in here instead, like that. So, and there's also many variations where you can get something called a truncated C. A truncated C falls kind of short to the length of A, right? You can get something called a flat. A flat is what you guys would know as a double bottom, right? Double bottom right here. So, and also here's a normal extension where it does 1-to-1. So we're not exactly sure how it's going to look until we get a lot more data going in on here. Once we get basically the first few subwaves, so if it did 5 waves coming down like that, like let's say we got the first A extension here. Excuse me, I canceled that by accident. So let's say you cancel this right here, or sorry, you drew that like that. Once we get this wave right here, we can easily project how high B is going to go there. And usually B is a retracement of A up to about 0.5. That's a typical number. 0.6 means that it's still very bullish, but it still needs to finish the C. And then we get an A, B, C up here as well. And the thing about C is it always, always, always makes a 5 zigzag correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, or it does a 5 wave, but it could be in many different kinds, such as an ending diagonal. Wave A could be a leading diagonal as well, right? Actually, wave B could come in many forms as well. It can come in a form like this. Let me show you. It can come in a form such as A, B, C, D, E correction, A, B, C, D, and E, right? Something like that. A 5-wave structure, A, B, C, D, and E, and then it breaks to the downside as well. So right now what we're looking for is a confirmation that is downtrending. We are only 2 hours in, if you guys notice, okay? We have a doji at the top already. That's not really good, only 30 minutes left. A doji at the very top, guys, is never a good candle. A doji at the very, very top is never a good candle. Let's just see if we can find any here. Like for example, this one here, right? It's kind of like a doji, and then it downtrends very hard after that. So what we're seeing is also a doji right here already, right? And not only are we seeing a doji, but on the 4-hour chart, we're seeing a shooting star sort of. It looks like a hammer, but it's upside down, right? If we get a smaller wick, like if we get to say the 90-30s range, it's going to be a pretty heavy downtrend. So I can't help but be bear right now. I can't help but be bear right now, and I think I'm going to set up a short scenario for myself. I'm not going to call it though. I just don't have enough time tonight, guys. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I do count 5 waves. I do expect a retracement, so make sure you guys mark this down or so, okay? I'll expect a retracement to say the 382 to the 618 level, which is basically, I'll write it down for you guys as well. So a target 1 retracement. So target 1, about $78. $78. Target 2 is 69, about, we'll say 70, just to round it up, right? Just it's kind of like a normal retracement, right? And then once we get this target down, you know, this is probably hyperextended a little bit too much there. Once we get, we'll just take an average of 0.5. Once we get 1 and 2 here, we can actually get a very good gauge of where 3 is possibly going to go. And we can also extrapolate as well based on the retracement of the second wave here, based on the wave of this one right here retracing. So if this one retraces, say, you know, 0.6, we'll just say, we'll know that wave 4, we can just expect it to be a very weak retracement because wave 2 did the majority of it, and they're very much so inversely proportional to each other. So just to kind of get an idea of how it's going to look longer term, right? We're still targeting like $100-something. So I hope you guys got in on the Litecoin suggestion that I put up for you guys. It was quite a beautiful play, right? I mean, you guys do the math of how much richer you are today, okay? If you got in where I suggested, you guys today are 66% richer. If you put in $50,000, you just made yourself $30,000. If you put in even $1,000, you made $300, right? If you made $10,000 you put in, you just made $3,000. So we are talking about the span between November 7 or something and today, which is a 26, which is about not even 3 weeks. You guys have literally added 66% to your income there, or to your initial investment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this technical analysis. Just want to give you guys my thoughts on it. It's been a while since I've done one. If you guys enjoyed this, please upvote it on Steemit. You know, hit the like, subscribe, share button, etc. Right? And I also have a Litecoin address at the bottom as well. It's for Luna's cryptocurrency piggy bank. I'm sure you guys have heard her howl, and I always say this at the end of every video. If you guys made a killer profit, you guys enjoyed my videos, and you guys just feel like tipping, you are absolutely welcome to, but please do not ever feel obligated, because I'm 100% okay. I only say this because some people feel good about doing it to contribute to the community. Other than that, have yourselves a phenomenal night, and thank you very much for watching this video. Take care now.